Mike Malone says, we'll move on from the draft for a second. This is what was interesting, and you look at it from a distance. We're not beat writers of the Nuggets anymore. He says that, I'm into, he's going to make us feel better. Oh yeah, we'll make the pace faster. We'll up. But what I care about is efficiency, and my people accepted the efficiency. They bought into my system, and defense. I really consider defense. I went back to look at what was said when Brian Shaw came in, and that was almost basically the same thing Brian Shaw is. I am making a comparison. Why do we believe him any more than we believe Brian Shaw? I never figured out a system. Do you think? I think Mike Malone is trying to mollify us by saying, I want to run a fast break. He did serve as an assistant with the Golden State Warriors, so he knows an up-tempo system. Do you believe in him as a coach, and do you believe him as a coach of what his emphasis is going to be here in Denver?
He talked a lot about efficiency, both offensively and defensively. I agree with you. The similarities with Brian Shaw are striking, that it's kind of the same guy trying to accomplish the same thing, except he's going to have the advantage, Woody, of doing it with a roster that's apparently made over with guys he wants, where Shaw inherited guys clearly that were problematic in terms of Lawson and Fareed, leaders of the team who never connected with Shaw. But to me, it's a revisiting of Shaw with a roster that's more equipped to listen to. And if they go straight defense again, that's a huge mistake. You and I have talked about it. He's got to run some. If he's just saying it to say it, to appease, that's a bad move because it'll show out in the wash immediately when they're scoring 88 points a game at altitude. And like you said, the one caveat is he worked with the Golden State Warriors. It's not like he was, the defensive coordinator of the 85 Bears saying he's going to run and shoot offense. But still, there's that suspicion: is this Brian Shaw again? And I guess the trap door would be, if it is, at least it will be with a roster of guys who want to be here. Shaw inherited a group of guys clearly that weren't crazy about being here and didn't want to be coached by him.
And didn't fit whatever the system was.
Yeah, we're not even. I'm still not sure to this day what Shaw was trying to accomplish, and I don't know if that's blame solely on him. Clearly, the guys didn't buy in, so he was left scrambling, trying to figure out what the system was.
Oh, by the way, and I went right by it. I apologize because it was so good. I want to say this because you're out of here, Walt Weiss. Walt Weiss saying that, and this guy saying it, and the umpire Jerry Lane said it last night. You're out of here, and I want to talk about that. I don't know whether that's in a rundown. I want to talk to you about it because that's a new replay rule that we really haven't paid any attention to.
Right.
And we won't get into that now. But on the Malone thing, we've had 5 different people from the Sacramento area because there's not much else to do. They came on the show. Because what do you do in Sacramento? Go, ooh, look at the state capitol. That's where Arnold worked for a while. You've been to Sacramento.
Been through it.
Yeah.
Been through it.
Yeah. The best thing coming out of Sacramento is a train. Sorry. Feel better, Cleveland. We're not picking on you.
You're like Jim Murray. You're just taking out cities one by one.
Yeah. He was the best at it. They've all praised him. Everybody unanimously. It's like when somebody you've seen that you've covered in baseball, and people call you, you go, yeah, you're really, because you want him to leave.
Yeah, that's what sometimes it's because you want to praise him to get.
When people put you down on a resume, and you call and go, yeah, he's the best guy in the world for you because you want him to take that next job.
I think the Cardinals did that with Lunau in Houston.
Yeah.
You should hire this guy.
The problem I have is they go, coach, the players loved him. Well, then you had Melvin Hunt. The players loved him.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that. He's going to run. Well, Mike D'Antoni would have run. Players liked him except Shaquille Howard didn't like him.
Right, Howard didn't, clearly.
That's the only person I ever know. Steve Nash said he did more to change basketball than anybody else. He loved playing for him. They mentioned in the NBA Finals Mike D'Antoni's name more than they mentioned the 2 coaches that were in the series. They kept saying, this is Mike D'Antoni. He wanted the job. He was willing to take the job. Malone, here's a statistic for you. I went and looked at the Nuggets' last 12 coaches. He has the worst winning percentage of any of them. Brian Shaw had a better winning percentage than he did.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezdelik had a better winning percentage than he did. Obviously, George Karl had a better winning percentage than he did. Melvin Hunt had a better winning percentage, 44%. His winning percentage was in the low 30s. What do I build myself? As a guy that's observing this team, that all these people are telling me he is sliced bread reincarnate. What am I supposed to believe in?
Clearly, he makes an impression on those who hire, but it's not translating, Woody. And that's the scary thing. I'm with you. When they hired Malone, after they just hired D'Alessandro, where they had issues in Sacramento, or he says they didn't, and it was higher up. But the whole thing, they're starting to make the Rockies look functional. I just don't understand this hire. Now, if he has control of the roster, Woody, and that allows him to get guys in who buy in, but they're like, well, they were buying in Sacramento. They were 9-6 before the injuries. 9-6. I thought they played 81 games. Anyone can go 9-6.
Rockies were 7-2 this year.
Right. Anyone can go 9-6. I got to see more. I'm fascinated by this decision because watching Tim Conley, he looked powerless at the press conference. He was Captain Mumbles. I'd like to thank Melvin Hunt for his time here. What? Who? What? I'm like, that's your GM? This is the inspired choice of a new era?
11 out of 15 players.